What is the Necrophonic app? How does it work?
The idea is that you can contact the other side with it.
Do you mind giving us a demonstration?
What's his name? What happened?
That light's just gone out. And he's just bought the Conjuring house. Do you know who Matt Rife is?
No.
He's an American comedian.
Did you see what happened to the Annabelle doll?
No.
A priest came to the house to see the real Annabelle doll, and on the way back he died in a car crash. They put her in a museum in America, and it burnt down the day after, and Annabelle's gone missing, the real one. It was a creepy fucking doll. I'm sorry for swearing. It had to be kept in a glass box. When I went in there, I didn't feel anything, but it smelled like an animal had died. In St James's Cemetery, it's got Liverpool's only spring. No one knows where the spring comes from. There's 60,000 bodies in there. The spring actually is cursed because it must run through the bodies.
What has been like one of the scariest stories for you?
There was a woman who was accused of witchcraft called Florence. There's a little tunnel in Sefton Park when you go in. She was accused of kidnapping children. They found many sets of children's teeth in this cave in Sefton Park. A backpacker went missing in there more recently. Bidson Hill is our version of Area 51. It's like one of the biggest UFO hotspots in the UK. Devil worship, there's ghosts, it's got it all. So I went to stay in the most haunted hotel in the UK. It's in Chester.
Right, okay. What hotel is this called?
It's called...
So welcome back to the #1 podcast here in Liverpool. We're joined by a familiar guest in Iwan Stefan.
Hello.
So thanks for coming again, Iwan. So Iwan, what's changed for you in the last 6 months?
A lot of things have changed. So I think when I was last with you, as I just filmed...
You just almost filmed... Well, you'd done your first season. It had been a few months after the first season.
I didn't. We got nominated for the best new presenters for that show. And we went down to London. We didn't win it. However, it was a massive deal because it was like our little show.
Was it like a horror sort of?
No, it was
red carpet.
We got nominated for best debut presenters.
Okay.
And
what event was this?
I can't remember what it was. That's terrible. It was. I'll get the name of it, but we went down to London for it, and it was amazing. So that was a massive thing for us. Just after one season to be nominated, and it was nice. And the feedback that we got off it, obviously because the show was in Welsh, I was thinking, it's just going to be people from Wales watching it. I had so much people from Liverpool watching it, which was so nice because, even like all my friends watching it with subtitles, it was just amazing because, it's just our little project. So we got commissions for season 2. And it was quite soon after the first one was released.
Right, okay.
So we got more episodes, and we are coming... We're not just doing Wales this time, we're actually doing an episode in Liverpool.
Right, okay.
So it's just expanded, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's getting bigger. Is it still in Welsh as well?
Yes, it's still in Welsh, yeah. But then as well as that, obviously my personal page, I've gone up another almost really... another 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
And then this year, I checked before, and this is insane, so 72 million views this year so far across my stories, which has been mind-blowing.
Yeah, I guess that's attributed to your consistency over the years. Like, what have you noticed a change in the difference between, because I think when you last come on it was about the 200,000 mark, and now it's nearly 300,000. Like, what's kind of changed there is, like, obviously as your audience grows, is there more expected of you? Like what kind of things have changed and come with those things?
What I've noticed is people start relying on your work as the only way I can compare it to. It's a little bit like having your own TV show. You know what it's like. it's a bit like people wait every night for what's going to happen next, like a chapter, like a series. So I take it so serious now. It's like a film. Like I think I said that to you last time. Everyone is like so cinematic and so much like a film. What I will say about the content itself, a lot of it has actually gone more outrageous, and it does work. It weirdly does work. Things have evolved, but I've still kept a lot of the same. I'm still doing the kinds of Wall Street time slips and the classic things that you're expecting, but then I'm also using more photos that you're a bit like, what the hell is that? Do you know what I mean? So it's evolved to be a bit more outrageous, and some people like that and some people don't, but it's divisive.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I have noticed is like things have got a bit more not necessarily graphic is probably not the right way of putting it, but like more intense. I'd probably say like the music as well. It sort of created that bit more intensity.
Yeah.
But what has been like one of the scariest stories for you in the last 6 months?
One of the scariest stories. So I put one on. Did you see the one that I did about the Albert Docks about someone called Edgar Frost?
Pretend I didn't.
Okay, so I put a story on and it was about a guy. So someone had sent me it. So before anyone says anything, I don't know if it's real or not, but it was about a guy that had opened an ice cream shop on the docks, and everyone was like obsessed with this ice cream shop, and people were like weirdly addicted to the ice cream as if it had something in it. And the guy just vanished out of thin air. But the photo that I was sent of him, it could be AI, could be real. I don't know, but I think the photo really made it creepy. And the fact that he disappeared and this ice cream shop closed down, I felt like that was a really interesting story.
So what happened after that, like once he closed the ice cream shop down?
Well, he was never heard from again. But once he disappeared, the people who were eating the ice cream started doing weird things, like licking walls and saying all like mad, just mad stuff. And I don't necessarily mean that is like scary, but it was just freaky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Inexplicable.
Yeah. And I put a video on the other day, and I think it's on like 500,000 now. And it was where someone had caught something in the Mersey on a fishing boat, and it looked, I mean, some people could say it was like some kind of not mermaid, but like a being, if you want.
Yeah, merman.
Yeah, we could say that. But it was just, I don't know. When I watched the video, it couldn't have been AI to me. It was too good. Because with AI, I do think some of the stuff I've posted is AI. Don't get me wrong. But like if it's entertainment, it's entertainment. But this particular video, it's either someone in a really good costume or it's something else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I thought that video was particularly scary because the faces and the facial expressions, it was just really odd.
And what happened to that after?
Well, apparently there was a boat from the police that came out and took this thing away. And then the police said to the people on board, do not mention this again. But then they sent it to me, and then and then it went out to 300k people. So maybe they shouldn't have done that. But who knows?
Yeah, there was another story on the docks that I was looking into. Like it was like a tea warehouse with some mannequins and this like creepy guy.
Yeah.
So can you just walk?
What was his name? I forgot.
I can't remember the guy's name.
So do you know what? Because I do that much, it's really hard to remember some of it. So a guy that was working in Liverpool has been in a bar in Liverpool, and he was here like working and staying in a hotel somewhere, and he'd met another guy in a bar, and the guy was like, do you want to come back to mine for a party? And he took him to the old tea warehouse, which is somewhere on the dock somewhere, and he's got to this party. And it was all mannequins instead of people, which was really weird. But all the mannequins was wearing clothes of missing people in Liverpool, which is really outrageous. And this man was never seen again. And these TikToks, they get so outrageous. People have started creating TikTok accounts for these characters.
Right.
So that video I did about someone called Edgar Frost.
Yeah. The ice cream guy.
Yeah. I was getting followed by by people called Edgar Frost, and they were commenting and using it. So it's kind of gained life for itself.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because I suppose it's people are enjoying it.
Yeah. So obviously you get sent a lot of stuff like to obviously fuel your stories. But
yeah,
has anyone ever come to you in person with evidence? What's been the most substantial evidence that someone's had in person for you? Or have you ever had a conversation with someone where they've said about a story?
Do you know what? So my friend Katie, I haven't actually done a story on this, but I probably wouldn't do it because it's close to home, and I don't think that I just wouldn't want to do anything that was too close to home. But she showed me a picture of someone in a family in a wedding where you could see like her grandfather, was it? And you can clearly see him in the picture. So
next to all the guests.
Yeah. Next to the bride and groom, wasn't it? And it was so distinctive. But because that was a friend, to me, I wouldn't really want to... Because, you know, of course you get bad comments and things like that. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to dishearten anybody by sharing that story. But that was probably the most face-to-face story. I do get people all the time being like, oh, you know, you're the ghost guy. Can you... yeah, you're the ghost guy. I once saw a shadow in a park, and it's like, I can't really do anything with that. You know, I need some kind of... Even though, you know, I love telling stories, I do need something to go with it. It's my film. It's my project.
You need an actual story, a substantial story.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
Maybe save that for maybe a future podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Because it's funny because I got quite a lot of flack. Do you remember when I showed you the one of my grandmother?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you've seen that clip, but that's been one of my most highly viewed clips, and there's so many comments on it saying like this is bullshit. And to be fair, that's fully because I you know me, like I don't believe in ghosts and stuff like that, but even I was struggling to sort of look at that and say I don't see what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like so many of the comments were like this is like AI generated, this is this, and like it's all not. And loads of people actually reached out to me and said, I've been like a ghost detective, like, you know, like kind of like yourself, like been doing this sort of evidence for a long time. I've got this page, that page, and there was 2 different people who reached out to me and said, this is the most, if this is real, this is like the most convincing like sort of picture of a ghost I've seen like in my career. And I was like, that's pretty mad, to be fair. But
it was really impressive.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of pictures. I get sent hundreds every day.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed.
Because I literally remember the conversation so well, because I was just obviously a skeptic with it.
Yeah.
My sister was a bit spooked, so I remember thinking, it must be quite significant then. And I genuinely remember seeing it for the first time and thinking, trying to talk yourself out of it, of like, I'm not seeing that.
That's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we can't revisit something. I think a lot of the things that like we see and we feel, because we can't experience, it's not normal. We kind of train our brains to go, oh my God, yeah, that wasn't actually real. That was just my mind doing it.
Yeah, a form of disbelief. But I go to Sefton Park a lot.
Do you?
I can't go there the same anymore, because I remember seeing a crow, like a story about a crow family or something.
Oh my God, yeah. How cool was that? That got like 1.5 million views.
Go on. So do you remember the story of that roughly?
Yeah, so it was... So basically I introduced a video and I said it was the real life Wrong Turn.
So for those who don't know, because I don't know, but what is Wrong Turn?
Wrong Turn is a horror franchise about inbred people that they go after people. It's a slasher franchise, and it wasn't actually based on that story, but because that story reminded me of Wrong Turn, that is why I said this was the real life Wrong Turn. Yeah. And there was a family who were like outcasts called the Crow family, and they were, I think they'd had like their house burnt down or something, or something had happened, so they were a bit on the odd side or something, and they were forced to go and live in the woods in Sefton Park. But then people started going missing in the area, and they would leave like traps out and stuff in Sefton Park. This is like 100 years ago, apparently. And that was and I just thought, oh, that's a really cool story. Do you know what I mean? Don't know if it's true, but I just thought it's a really interesting story. And I was like, it kind of sounds a bit like Wrong Turn, the films.
Right, okay.
So I was like, I'll just say this is like the real life Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
And people loved it. I think that over 1 million watched that.
Yeah.
People loved that. Do you know what I mean?
Did that have anything to do with the tunnel? Because I was never aware of the tunnel in Sefton
With
Park.
Florence.
I'm not sure. Is that the same story?
No, there's
Right.
a different one, and that's another one. So there was a woman who was accused of witchcraft called Florence,
Right.
in the local area in Sefton Park, and there's a little tunnel in Sefton Park when you go in. So she was accused of kidnapping children, but they found many sets of children's teeth in this cave in Sefton Park, and the woman, I mean, you know, her picture didn't do her any favours. You know that, and someone else, like a backpacker, went missing in there more recently. Well, not more recently, like in the 80s or 90s or whatever, and they actually found his teeth and a Polaroid camera with the last photo on his camera, and it was like of an entity's face, or it could be a woman or something like that.
So he went exploring to try and find clues, and then ended up dying himself.
Yeah. So I thought that was a pretty good story. I thought it was a really good story. And, you know, people are still, oh my God, you know, you just post lies. And it's like, I post entertainment and I've never denied any of that. Do you know what I mean? I do believe some of the stuff, but some of it I don't.
Because the thing is with history, like I was saying this to Reese the other day, the thing is with history, you can only rely on people's word. So although like you're quick to call people out for being liars and stuff, but people do die, and they die in suspicious circumstances all the time. So it's just like, you know, things evolve, but it doesn't necessarily take away from the fact that people died. Now, how they might have died might have been different or whatever, but it is interesting to see how things evolve. But people are always very quick to like sort of say like, oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, like I got a message from someone last night and they were like, why are you using AI? I've never used AI like to make anything in my whole life. I wouldn't know how to. Actually, I think it could actually do my career a lot of favours if I did.
Yeah.
What I do use is things that people send me. Could that be AI? Yeah. But do I personally make them myself? No. And someone messaged me and said, you know, why didn't you just be creative? Oh, I am being creative. I am really being creative.
You should just screenshot your what's called your TikTok following and just circle it and just send it back to
them. And it's like, oh, it's, you know, it's so obviously AI, and I'm like, it very well could be. I don't actually know how to use AI. I use ChatGPT for work.
I think we all use that, yeah.
I love it. I ask it for advice and everything.
Yeah.
And but I wouldn't know how to create a fake video. I'd love to, maybe in the next podcast I will be doing it.
Yeah, of course,
by then.
Of course. Now, one that I did watch from start to finish and I properly followed it was the Brookhouse pub, because I've been in the Brookhouse pub myself. And I remember seen this the other day and I thought, oh God, like I recognise the pub obviously from your drone footage, but walk us through the story of the Brookhouse pub.
So I didn't expect that to go the way that it did. I was thinking I need to post something about the Brookhouse because it's iconic, isn't it? Everyone knows the Brookhouse. So I went in there, did a bit of filming, and someone had sent me a story about a woman who was kidnapping children, and they'd found, like, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm sure that they'd found remains or something in the cellar of the Brookhouse, and the woman who was doing it had gone missing. But this woman's picture was unlike anything I'd ever used before. It was like it was, how do you say it? Like quite scary.
Demonic, I would say.
She looks really scary. So I think as soon as people seen that picture, they were like, what the hell is this? And then with the Brookhouse, with it being such a historic site, this woman like apparently vanished and she was never seen again. Now this story was sent to me. I didn't go and research anything. I didn't get, like, again, don't know if it's true or anything like that. But I thought, wow, that is a bloody good story. So I posted that and that got like 1.5 million. But But then again, I did get a bit of negative feedback off that. But it was like, you need to be careful what you're posting because you're doing this and it's not factual and things like that. And it's like, wow, just take a look at my page.
Yeah, people forget what the content is actually supposed to do, like the intended actual target of the content.
Yeah, it's I think I said this to you last time, but like when I make TikToks now, my aim is to make the user, the watcher, feel something, and that is obviously to feel uncomfortable.
So obviously, yeah. So when you're getting like your information, you get in your stories. What do you find makes a good story? Like, what stands out to you?
What stands out to me for a good story? It needs to have a mysterious ending. So nobody wants to know happily ever after. They were all fine and they all survived. People like, well, this person disappeared. They were never seen again. Yeah. Or these remains were found, or anything like that. So I think leave it open. Yeah. Don't give it or give it something really satisfying to end with. And also, I always think that you need to open with something that is going to get the person to stay on the page, because everyone's attention span now is, you know yourself, it's horrendous. So in that first 5 seconds of a video, you need to bring them in. Hence why when you go on mine, you will see a shocking video or a shocking picture. It's because what I'm doing is I'm pulling you in to tell you something that you're going to want to know.
Yeah. So from all your experiences of like the places you've seen, obviously you've been visiting many of the places that you talk about.
Yeah.
If someone was into haunted stories and into like, you know, places being haunted,
yeah,
and lived in Liverpool,
yeah,
what 3 places should they go to encounter, let's say, a strange environment?
So if you're coming to Liverpool and you're looking for somewhere to experience paranormal activity, my top 3 places, my number 1, I'm sure a lot of people would guess this, would be around the Newsham Park Hospital area. Now, that was an orphanage and a psychiatric hospital, and it was a hospital for soldiers. There was a lot of things that went on there. So children were being experimented on. There was human experiments going on in the psychiatric hospital, things like that. And there's an incredible depth there, and there's a lot of sadness there. So I would say that is a very active area for things like that.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would say somewhere like, can it be in Merseyside?
Yeah, of course.
So the second place I would say, weirdly, is, have you heard of Bidson Hill?
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
Bidson Hill is our version of Area 51.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's over the water. And Bidson Hill, it's not like Area 51 in the way like it's secretive or anything like that. What I mean, it's like one of the biggest UFO hotspots in the UK. So Google it, go and read about it. There's been, it's literally in the paper, there's devil worship, there's ghosts, it's got it all. But it's more goods for the UFO things. So anything supernatural like that, like someone went missing in Bidson Hill for like, they blacked out and they woke up like 5 days later, not knowing that time had passed. And they went to the hospital because they were all like disorientated, and they had like unusually high levels of radiation in the blood. So there is so much stories about Bidson Hill. It's like a big windmill. But it's very, very, they call it the most mysterious place in Merseyside. Right, so make sure you guys check it out if you can, because I'd say go there in the night.
Is it like cordoned off though?
No, you can just go there for a walk. You can, but there's a lot of different stories there. Like there's another story in Bidson Hill where it's basically got tunnels underneath there as well. People have found like skeletons in there of things that are not human. And these stories are in books. This is not something I've solely been told. This is just information that's there. You know, if you Google that, there's a lot of information out there. So I would say go check Bidson Hill. Yeah. Bidson Hill's another good place.
And then give us one more. So you got Newsham Park, Bidson Hill.
Bidson Hill. I want to say something that's a little bit out of the bag. I don't want to say something like Oh, Bold Street, because it's just, I talk about that every other day. So I would say another really good place for anything paranormal, it would be, do you know what? I'm going to say the Williamson Tunnels.
Okay.
Now, I've spoke about this before, but they were obviously built, these tunnels. I've spoken about this before, so sorry if I'm repeating myself.
Yeah.
But these tunnels that run all underneath Liverpool. Liverpool's a big place, and no one knows why they were built. No one knows why they were there. Some people theorise that they were built to give local people work, or people in the war to give them work after they come back from war. But other theories, the ones I like, it's more devilly things and more sinister. So no one knows how many tunnels there are, which is weird, isn't it? I think that would be a really interesting place because there's so much history that we don't understand.
Yeah, I do remember you talking about the Williamson tunnels the last time, but is there like an end to the tunnel? Like
No, not that we know of.
So no one's actually explored to the end?
No.
That's strange.
Isn't that weird? That's really weird. Can I say one more place?
Yeah, go for it.
Do you know where the cathedral is?
Yeah.
St. James's Cemetery.
Right, okay.
So do you know what I mean?
I know roughly, it's like if the cathedral's on the far side, it's like closer to us, isn't it?
So the cathedral's here and there's a cemetery when you go down.
Like down the hill.
That's it.
Yeah.
So there's 60,000 bodies in there. 60,000. There is a real vampire's grave in there. And do you know, vampires, zombies, it ain't my thing. It's not my cup of tea, but the story is great.
It's interesting because I've got the story here to tell you.
Have you?
Because we put out a few messages to people.
Yeah.
And one of them was said like, oh, you need to talk about the pyramid.
That's William Mackenzie's tomb, isn't it?
Oh, right. So what are you talking about?
Right. So in St. James's Cemetery,
yeah,
in the one next to the cathedral, there is a supposed vampire's grave. I've got a video on it. I'll show it to you. And this grave is away from all the other graves. And strangely, I've got goosebumps talking about it. So it was a man that abused women in the 18th century, I believed, that I believe. And they would hang him and he would get killed and buried always in the same place, but he'd come back all the time. Hence why he was getting...
I've heard about this.
Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
So he was getting called a vampire, but on his grave now, garlic grows. And I went there for the first time about 2 months ago because my friend was like, you need to actually see the vampire grave. And I was like, that is so interesting.
So there's actually garlic cloves growing from the ground?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Like you can't make that up, can you? Because, as I said, vampire things. But in St. James's Cemetery as well, you have got one of my favourite stories ever, and it's not even that scary. A tree that supposedly shapeshifts people. Right? Literally, and I've had tons of messages off people saying I could show you this tree. So it's got like a human, it's got an actual human skull, must be carved into it because you can see it. And it's apparently people have seen people walking up to this tree and
just disappearing. Something
happens. I don't know what. So that's a really cool one. And obviously, it's got Liverpool's only spring in there.
Right, okay.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
So in St. James's Cemetery, it's got Liverpool's only spring. No one knows where the spring comes from. Obviously, a lot of people say that it's healing water, but they just don't know where it comes from. But a lot of people, this is my little touch on it, a lot of people believe that this spring actually is cursed because it must run through the bodies.
Right. Okay.
It must do.
It must obviously run through the earth.
I've drank it. I have drank it and it was fine.
Didn't taste like decomposition in any sort of way.
No, but you know what? Nothing's been buried there for like over 100 years.
Right.
So I don't think there would be. I mean, there's rumours or whatever, but if you go to this spring, people go there every day because they really believe that there's something healing in it. So in St. James's Cemetery, you've got a lot to do in there. I wouldn't go in there after dark, no way.
I thought you weren't afraid of anything, to be fair.
I'm not.
So even you wouldn't go there at night?
I wouldn't go there. I mean, I don't think it would just be... heavy for paranormal stuff. I think it would be for other things as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Human beings.
Yeah, actual people.
Yeah.
But when I was doing some research, like I said, we asked some viewers who were obviously fans of yours as well, and these are the 3 stories that I've not heard. So
Okay.
I'd love to just read them through to you. Obviously, you will definitely know some of them.
Go on.
So the first one's the Grey Lady of Speke Hall.
Yeah.
So you know about this. So in Speke Hall, Speke Hall is a Tudor manor built around the 1530s, sitting near the River Mersey in Liverpool. It was home to the Norris family and Lady Mary Norris in particular. Lady Mary was married to Edward Norris, who was known for his reckless gambling and extravagant lifestyle. Over time, Edward's gambling debts nearly destroyed the family fortune and the future of their estate. Lady Mary reportedly became distraught and paranoid about what would happen to their youngest son, that he'd be left destitute and disgraced. One night, in a state of despair and delusion, she carried her infant to a window that overlooked a moat below. In a moment of panic and anguish, she threw the child from the window, believing somehow that death was a mercy compared to the shame and ruin that was imminent. Immediately after realising what she'd done, she leapt from the same window, and Lady Norris and her young son were found drowned in the moat below on the same night. So obviously after this as well, not long after the night, people began reporting strange occurrences inside Speke Hall, particularly near the same window and in the tapestry room. Witnesses described footsteps in empty corridors, crying sounds, and cold spots that linger near the window where she died. Over the years, dozens of visitors and staff have claimed to hear distant sobs, and when going to investigate, have disclosed seeing a woman in a grey Tudor dress, hovering silently near ceilings within the house, then suddenly vanishing into the wall or towards the windows. Some feel sudden waves of sadness or dread, as if the house itself is filled with despair. And then there's even modern staff who work at there's a national trust there.
Yeah.
And they've admitted to hearing inexplicable noises or feeling watched while closing up the hall at night. But the truth behind why the mother and son died is still unknown. But like when I was reading into it, a lot of the National Trust ladies said that they'd speak to her often.
Really?
And they would see her often. And as I read that, I thought, yeah, the next one.
It's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm actually a bit embarrassed because considering what my career is, I've never been to Speke Hall and it's only down the road. I would love to go. I know most haunted's been...
I was about to say, would you do like an episode at Speke? Because when I was reading it, a lot of people go there and they encounter her as if it's like a normal... Like when I was looking at some of the reports, it's like as if it's normal for them.
It would. I mean, I've done videos on it, but I've never actually physically been there.
Yeah.
But I would love to go there. I know they are actually doing tours. I was invited, but I couldn't go last year. But that Grey Lady, it is quite a normal occurrence, apparently.
Yeah, like I said, they see her all the time, and that they talk to her, and then they hear her laughing. And I don't know how much of it I believe, but I'm like, these people literally act like they just get on as if it's just a normal thing. And I couldn't really get past that.
See, I kind of find that a bit comforting because, do you know, like just talking to it kind of like, do you know what, it just makes you think, oh, do you know what I mean? Like,
maybe it's not
she's
all
okay.
that bad. But this one was the eeriest one, right? Because when I went to university, when I went to John Moores, there's a few libraries around town.
Yeah.
And there's a library near Rodney Street, part of the John Moores complex. And I remember seeing this, the pyramid on Rodney Street. So I remember seeing this a long time ago, and I never thought of it. I remember thinking that's kind of weird because it's in a graveyard, isn't it? Not like an old-fashioned looking graveyard. And then there's just this pyramid in the middle. So then obviously when someone messaged this the other day, I thought, I'll look into it properly, and it kind of shook me. So I'll read you the story. So the pyramid tomb of Rodney Street. So on Rodney Street, right in the Georgian quarter of Liverpool, lies a very strange pyramid tomb accompanied by ordinary gravestones standing about 4 metres tall, surrounded by black iron railings. So the tomb belonged to William Mackenzie, a 19th century civil engineer and railway contractor, known for his brilliance, ambition and risk-taking. Alongside his engineering genius, Mackenzie was obsessed with gambling, accruing a large fortune from both ventures. Mackenzie was also deeply superstitious. According to local legend, Mackenzie struck a deal with the devil, offering his soul in exchange for success at cards and business. The deal went Mackenzie's way, but he became terrified of dying and was convinced that the devil would come to claim his soul. To outwit the devil, Mackenzie came up with an unusual plan. He arranged to be entombed above ground, sealed inside a stone pyramid, seated upright at a table with a deck of cards in his hands. The idea was that if his body never touched the earth, the devil couldn't take him below. Whether this was actually carried out is uncertain, as the tomb has never been opened. Over the years, countless reports have surfaced from people walking past at night. Witnesses describe seeing a tall, shadowy figure standing motionless beside the pyramid, often described as dressed in a long coat, white face, and with some even disclosing the figure had glistening red eyes, before vanishing into thin air. Hence the tomb was coined the vampire's grave. Countless reports have stated that they sometimes hear soft tapping noises from inside the tomb, as though someone was knocking on the stone, along with the sliding of chairs, which was often accompanied by dull voices from within the pyramid. But yet the pyramid tomb has never been accessed to this day, and its true nature remains unknown.
Isn't that so interesting?
But I read that and then I thought, why would you not be able to open it? But there's no door, there's no latch.
Yeah.
It's just a pyramid, and no one knows why it's there. And then when I looked into it, they don't want to get rid of it because whenever they've contracted someone to remove it, it's we're not doing that.
Yeah.
No one will touch it.
No one will go near it.
But then no one knows why it's there as well.
I've seen so Rodney Street is supposed to be the most haunted street in Liverpool.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Out of every street, Rodney Street it has so much going on there. Now, with that particular story of William Mackenzie, there's been so much. So people have seen lights being flashed out of the tomb. Do you know actual lights coming out of it? A lot of people see the spirit of William Mackenzie, who was also believed to be involved with the dark things. Do you know, satanic,
the cults and stuff like that.
But with the occult, really.
Yeah.
And there's even stories of prostitutes, women who have been attacked by a man in a cloak and a top hat, which is believed to be William Mackenzie. It's really interesting. I've seen a lot of people debunking it in recent times, how can you be buried sitting up? But I just think it's a really cool story.
Yeah.
I love Rodney Street. I go often, but I've never really felt anything around there. But I think it's probably the biggest legend.
Like I said, it's just so out of place. And then, like I said, whenever I was researching it, is this people don't want to go anywhere near it and work on it. They don't even want to renovate the graveyard. The graves all next to it are super old, outdated, but they won't bury anyone else there, and no one will touch it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And it's just it's just unsettling.
It's weird because on Rodney Street, obviously, now when you go, it's like a plastic surgery street, isn't it? It's where all the clinics and things are.
My massage therapist is there.
Is there? So when you go down there, it's mad because you just see this big pyramid. So it's it looks out of place, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then the last one I want to show you is, so obviously Dale Street is just down here, so we're not far from Dale Street at all.
Exciting.
And I seen this one and I thought, I know the exact alleyway because I just knew which one they were referring to. So this is Sweeting Street. Have you ever heard of Sweeting Street?
Yes.
It's just literally an alleyway in between Dale Street and Castle Street. So Sweeting Street is a short, narrow alleyway tucked between Castle Street and Dale Street in the heart of Liverpool. The earliest tale of Sweeting Street dates back to the 18th century when a woman named Rose Poole lived nearby. She was known for her beauty and her love of fine things, especially her 5 gold rings, one on each finger. After Rose's mysterious death, her body was laid out in a small room, prepared for burial. Her coffin sat open for mourners to say goodbye. Her hands still adorned with those 5 gold rings, nestled across her chest. When people returned later that night, they found something inexplicable. Rose's body was exactly where it had been, but next to her coffin was her husband, who lay lifeless on the floor. The rings had been taken from her hands, but they were scattered all around the coffin, as if dropped or thrown in a panic. No one could explain what had taken place. Some said he had a heart attack. Others whispered that Rose's hands had moved when being visited, and that her eyes were open for some visitors, and that she may not have been dead, perhaps causing her husband a sudden fright. From that night on, the alleyway outside Sweeting Street gained a reputation. People walking there late at night would see a shrouded woman standing motionless in the shadows wearing a dark dress, her face pale whilst reaching out towards witnesses that report hearing metallic taps like coins hitting the floor. A few even claim she followed them a few steps before disappearing into mist, leaving behind the faint smell of old candle wax and perfume. The legend remains unsolved as Rose Poole is still said to be in search of her 5 rings or the husband that she tragically lost. And then on the same street, someone who wasn't even from this country when I was researching it said that they seen the woman, but they seen her holding hands with a girl. And then there's another, so then...
It's a child died.
Yeah, it's a child. So there was basically a little girl who died by a horse and carriage, knocked her over. She wasn't found for a few days, but then she was found, obviously dead. And then they said that she used to love skipping up and down the road. And the guy I think he was a German guy who first reported this, said that once he saw a woman holding hands with a child and she had a pair of skipping ropes in her hand, and then she ran off skipping, but there was no noises with the skipping.
Wow.
And then he said she just disappeared, and then they just both disappeared.
That is insane.
And the German guy, obviously not from round here.
Do you know what? I hadn't have heard that first story.
What, the Rose Pool?
No.
All right, interesting.
I'd never heard that, but that's really, really interesting.
Yeah,
really sad story.
But as I was walking past, like I walk past that street all the time, so when I seen that one, it was specifically like...
Let's hope you didn't see it.
Yeah, I'll do a double take when I walk past there nowadays. So obviously you're doing a new ghost series, obviously the season 2 of the same ghost story. So just for those that haven't seen season 1, what was the series that you've done?
So I did a series last year. It was for S4C, so that's like the Welsh Broadcasting TV network, and I was approached to do some kind of show. It was I got told basically we want to do something with you, but we don't know what exactly. What do you want to do? So I was like, my dream is to do like a Most Haunted. Yeah. In Welsh. So we did a show where we went to investigate haunted places. This was places in Wales, and it was in Welsh. And we did 3 episodes, and we went to stay in 3 different places, went to investigate, and a lot of interesting things happened. Now, it was on S4C, it was on BBC iPlayer, but if you want to watch it now, the series one, it's on YouTube. I think it could still be on iPlayer as well. So I've been busy doing season 2. So I can believe that we got it because I'm so happy. But yeah, it's been a really interesting project to work on because, a lot of people think that I'm just a ghost hunter day to day, and I'm more of a storyteller when it comes to social media, but ghost hunting, I'm actually quite new to that world. So it's very exciting.
What has been some of the most horrific experiences of you ghost hunting so far?
So horrific is a big word. So for me personally, nothing has been really awful. There has been interesting things. So in season 1, we were sitting on the stairs in a hotel. We were sitting on stairs filming, and it was the end of the night, and not much had happened in this night. And we were just sitting at the end of the stairs filming and just recapping on what had gone on. And it was just me and Amy, the other presenter in the hotel. And we just heard a woman's voice just being like, It was a bit like, do you remember Titanic when she goes, Yeah. It was a bit like that. But it was like we heard it and we just went, we were so like excited by it, and we actually got it on film as well. So that was on season 1. So that was really cool. That was really, really interesting. What can I tell you from series 2? Well, obviously you're going to have to watch it. But so we went to do in season 2, we went to do somewhere in Wrexham, and I've got to be so careful what I say here because it is coming, but my co-presenter believes that she saw something, and I thought that she would react completely different than she did. I thought she would be like screaming and crying, but because she was so blasé about it, she was quite chill about it.
Why did you think?
I just think that when you think that you're going to react and freak out, you think you're going to react, and that's why I believe it so much more, is because she was so calm about it. She was like, did I really just see that? Which was amazing. So she did believe that she saw something, which we explained that on the show. So that was really interesting, but nothing really like, I wouldn't say nothing, because nothing scares me. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? It really, not really. But I'm excited for what's to come as well.
Obviously, you've been to a few different places now. Like, what have you noticed a pattern between haunted places?
Probably there's like an energetic pattern. So I'm like a proper empath. So like I pick up on vibes really, really too easily, really. It's not good. Like when I go somewhere, you know, like when I go somewhere that's busy, so say now, like last week I went to see Lady Gaga, and when we were leaving, I was like in such a bad way, because not because I was like under any influence of anything. It was that many people. I could like see, really more or less see, like there was just a lot of energy being around me, and I could just feel it all. So in comparison to places where I go to, you can feel a certain heaviness, especially when you're sensitive to that, because I'm so into all that myself.
Yeah.
There's a pattern where you can feel certain sadness in some rooms. We went to do, I forgot what it was called in the first episode of season 2. We went to a hospital, an abandoned hospital, but it was by, Puff Madog. It was by there. And we went to film, this is a little spoiler, this hospital was completely derelict, and everything was given Newsham Park vibes, you know.
Right.
you know, like there was holes in the wall and holes in the floor, and everything was a bit tired.
How long had it been abandoned?
Not that long, but maybe about 20 years.
Right, okay.
And there was, like a palliative care room where people would go to die.
Oh, right, okay.
So we were in this room, right? And weirdly, in this room, everything was untouched. So it was warmer than anywhere else in the building. And there was a sense of peace, to the point where I didn't want to investigate it because I felt like it needed to be left. There was no rust on the taps, whereas, you know, in all the other rooms there was rust. The bedding was clean, just things like that. It was a very peaceful energy. So that was really interesting, because it had no right to be in that condition.
Why do you think it was, like, your best guess? Why do you think it was like that?
I think, you know, we get so scared to death, but really it's like a common thing. The body's like a hotel we stay in for like 80 years or something like that. And I think because it was just a place where people went to cross over, the energy there stayed calm and it stayed immaculate, because there was so much love in that room at one point.
Yeah. What would you say has been the most haunted place you've been to? So you're talking about energy and like all that sort of stuff. So where has it been the most hot for you?
In the show, what?
Just any. So where's been the most haunted place for you?
Oh, I don't want to say what I said last time, but...
Because obviously, I think you mentioned Ruthin Hospital last time. It was quite energetic, in Newsham Park.
Newsham Park, that upset me. So it wasn't a fear. It was more of a... I walked in and I could I could feel the pain, and I had to take 5 minutes because I could feel I just felt upset because I don't know what it was. Couldn't tell you. I didn't see anything, you know, but it was like, I know that you just know that something not good has happened in these walls that you're walking through. It carries a kind of energetic history, if you want. But that wasn't, I wouldn't say that was disturbing or it was scary or anything like that. But I'd say scary, it's a really hard thing, because do you know what? It's hard because scary, it doesn't really scare me. I can pretty much do it all, I think. I hate saying that. I wish that...
Apart from the graveyards at night.
I wish there was somewhere that I could say that I'd be like, I'd never go in there again because it was that bad. Do you know what? I'll tell a lie. Have you seen a video on my Instagram or TikTok about the Grace doll?
No.
So I went to stay in the most haunted hotel in the UK. It's in Chester.
Right, okay. What hotel is this called?
It's called Old King's Head, and it's a 16th century hotel where you can go and do an overnight haunted stay. But it's not just haunted. They have cursed artifacts in there. So they've gathered all this cursed evil things, toys, pictures, you name it, they've got it. And I went there to stay overnight, okay? This was about 2 years ago. 20 of us were supposed to stay there. Not one stayed. Not one person stayed. And I was in this, so they had this room with a doll in it called the Grace doll, and she was from Ruthin, the doll, and she was believed to have like some kind of 18th century witch or something inside her. And before I went into this room to see the doll, I had to sign a waiver, and I had to read rules out and agree to certain things before going in this room. So
what were some of them? Like, can you remember?
It was just things like that. I would not speak down to it, or I would not, I wouldn't. I can't remember properly. There is a video.
Basically, it was like, be respectful of the doll.
Yeah.
Right.
So I goes into this room, and there's this doll there, and it was a creepy fucking doll. I'm sorry for swearing. It was like a Victorian doll. It was basically everything you wanted to read. You know what I mean? But it had a circle of salt in it. It had to be kept in a glass box, and there was even videos of it. Not that I took of it. People have got sounds and things off it, and no words of a lie. Like, this is when I went in there, I didn't feel anything, but it smelled like an animal had died. That's what it was. It was the most pure smell. It was as if, like a rat had died in the floorboards and the smell was coming up. So I said to the staff, I was like, what's died in there? Or what smell are you putting in there? Because it smells awful. And they were like, oh, nothing. There's nothing in there. And I was like, well, obviously there is, because it was like death. It was horrible. And I asked the people that had gone into the room after me, like, could you smell that? And they couldn't. But it was literally like death. It was disgusting.
What were some of the things that you did in the room? Like, when you were, like, obviously looking around.
Well,
did you talk to the doll at all, or anything? Nothing like that.
No, I just looked at it. I just looked at it, and it like, but you could. Obviously, they'd set the room up so it looked the part. It looked the way that you expect it. It had the circle of salt and stay away on the walls and things like that, and all these newspaper articles about the doll on the wall. So it definitely gave the room a presence. But that smell was undeniable. Yeah. But the whole hotel was fabulous. I loved it, but I couldn't have stayed there.
It reminds me of, have you seen what Matt Rife's done lately?
No.
So do you know who Matt Rife is?
No.
So he's an American comedian, and he's just bought the Conjuring house.
I've seen this on TikTok.
I was watching this morning, and I've never seen anything like it, to be fair. Obviously he's talking to the Annabelle doll.
Did you see what happened to the Annabelle doll?
No.
Oh my God. So the Annabelle doll, so obviously Ed and Lorraine Warren have died, haven't they?
Have they?
I didn't know. They've died, and they said, you should never remove the real Annabelle doll from where she was in the museum. So Annabelle's gone on a world tour, right? They've made her go on a world tour. They put her in a museum in America, and it burnt down the day after, and Annabelle's gone missing, the real one. So
what one will Matt Rife now have? Because I thought...
Yeah, it will be.
It'll be
this was about 6 months ago, so the real doll went missing.
Right. So does he have like a fake one then?
I don't know.
Because like so when I looked, obviously I've seen Annabelle the film and all that shit, and obviously she looks like a almost like not
she
real.
She looks completely different.
It's like a Pinocchio type of doll, isn't it?
Have you seen the real one?
Yeah. So that when I looked at the Matt Rife videos, because he's done videos, he's basically in this basement, the Conjuring house basement where Annabelle is, and he's like literally, and as he puts the camera on the Annabelle doll, it's in like a big case, but it's like a soft teddy almost.
Yeah, it's the real Annabelle doll is called Raggedy Ann doll.
Right, yeah,
so
yeah.
It was huge in America in like the 1920s. But like, do you know what? As soon as I saw the headlines, Annabelle's going on a world tour, I was thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. I was thinking this is not going to end well. And then I saw a museum had burned down to the ground after she'd visited.
Fucking hell.
And then the real one had gone missing. So I don't know if they found it. They might have found it by now.
Yeah, but I know that he has the rights to. So he has the house. It cost him I think it was 1.5 million. But then he only has the rights to Annabelle for 5 years or something, or a certain amount of time. So he doesn't own the doll. The doll's owned by.
Have you looked into the real story?
No. The
real Annabelle story is so cool. I don't know if I believe it though. I really want to.
Come on, walk me through.
But so. They'd bought a woman's mother had bought the real Annabelle doll for her, and the doll, she'd go to work and that. The woman was a nurse, and when I don't know why she wanted a doll, by the way, but every time she'd get home from work, the doll would be around the house in different positions, and it'd have a piece of paper next to it saying "help me" and that, and little things and just things it would just move. And even she went out to the bin and threw it in the bin, around the corner from her house, and it would show back up in the house.
Fuck that.
And then the worst thing that happened, no, actually there's two things. The girl's boyfriend was staying over one night, and he woke up in the middle of the night and it was attacking him, and he had claw marks over him. And then the worst thing, I don't know, I haven't got the story down to a T, but a priest came to the house to see the real Annabelle doll, and on the way back he died in a car crash. Isn't that so interesting?
For fuck's sake. But it's going back, obviously with the Annabelle doll, he was doing so obviously there's a group of them, there's the cameramen and whatnot, and so Matt Rife has a few friends, and one of his friends has got the headphones on where you can't hear anything, but obviously it's connected to the the white noise, the app that you're using, the Necrophonic thing.
Yeah.
So he's obviously using some sort of apparatus like that. He's got these ear defenders on, so he can't hear anything other than what's being said by a paranormal force or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Matt Rife and his friends are asking questions as they're walking around the room, and this guy's just basically translating everything that's being said. Got his eyes closed and he's just translating everything that's being said in his head. And they're asking it questions what do you want from us? What do you want? Why are you here? And it's oh, you. And it's well, how are you going to get us? And it's your eyes. And it's just proper weird responses that make no sense.
It's interesting.
It's it makes sense, but it's everything's left on a cliffhanger almost. It's as if it's not speaking sentences, it's just speaking little bits. And I was just watching the video, and there's fucking loads of them. He's only been there, I don't know how long he's been there, but it's short term, but he's made loads of it.
I don't know if I believe any of that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I watch it and think,
however, I don't think you should be messing about with things like that.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
The same things with psychics and stuff. I think I've never really seen a good psychic.
Right.
Not that has blown my head off, and I just think you should not be messing with that world.
I'm exactly the same. I don't believe in it, but then I also wouldn't tempt fate.
Yeah. Whether you believe in that or not, you don't want to be messing about with things like that.
Have there been any places where you visited where some of the details of the history behind the places have left an eerie vibe with you? So I don't want to give us too much of a spoiler, but we did an episode of the new TV show somewhere in Wrexham, can't say yet, but somebody saw something, and on the certain place where they saw the certain something had happened, and it matched what that person saw. Right.
So basically somebody had seen a spirit of a child, and we learned afterwards that a child had died in that spot, which was insane.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad, it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth or anything like that. It was more oh my God, that's insane.
So the object of the show is to take you somewhere that you've not done no research on, you don't even know where you're going, isn't it? And then they place you there. Well,
in the show, I'm the believer, and then my co-presenter, Amy, she's the skeptic. So, and it's my job to make her believe.
Right.
That's that's as dramatic as it goes. But in terms of everything else, I do know the areas that we go to, but I don't know. So I do have a little Google to see what's haunted in the areas, but I don't actually know 100%.
A specific location.
Yeah.
If you could take a team anywhere in the UK to do a paranormal investigation, where would you go? Or you can
I've
give
got
us
a
your
couple
top
of
three.
places.
Give us your top three.
Number one would be 30 East Drive. So this 30 East Drive just looks like a 1960s council house. So this house is meant to be like absolutely horrific, haunted by a black monk. It's supposed to be like absolutely like demonic and awful. You're supposed to get thrown around and things like that. I would absolutely love to go there.
And where's that?
That is in Yorkshire. Yeah, that's in Yorkshire. It is open for ghost hunts. I do need to go and do it, but I haven't had time. It's a couple of hours drive, and I would love to. I'd love to go there because there is so much coming out of there. Another place I'd actually be scared to go here is called the Scariest Inn. It's down south somewhere, and basically it's a 12th century place that you can go and stay, and there was bones found from satanic rituals and stuff there, and the energy there is meant to be horrific. I would love to go there just to be able to feel what it's like there. I think that would be really, really cool to go there. I'd be quite scared to actually go there, and I'm not scared of a lot of things, but like I've seen episodes that people have done on there, and it looks
Like what kind of things happen there?
It's supposed to be like satanic, like extremely dark, ritualistic, dark forces. It looks like right down my street. Like it looks right down my street. I think an episode like I'd love to go down there. I'd love to. It's open for ghost hunts, so who knows? Maybe one day I'll be able to go. Maybe
give us one more.
One more dream places to go. So, have you ever heard the legend? So this isn't actually like scary as such, but it's very intriguing. So have you heard about the legend of Alton Towers?
No.
So you've been to Alton Towers, haven't you?
Many times, yeah.
So do you know the castle?
Yeah.
When they were building Alton Towers, the actual theme park, they found a room in there. It was within a vault. And you can search this, that when the builders were all the contractors, they found a room with a tree trunk, and it was all chained up and with obviously chains and stuff, and it was all locked, so it was never going to be moved.
Right.
And when they looked into this, so the Earl of Shrewsbury, did you ever go on Hex?
Yeah.
That's what Hex is about.
Oh shit!
It's
where it goes upside down.
That's that's not that bit.
That's the one though, isn't it?
But the Earl of Shrewsbury, he was travelling home hundreds of years ago, and he was stopped by a begging woman, and she said to him, "Can you please let me stay for the night?" And he, treated her terrible and said, "No, go away." And she said, "For every branch of the old oak tree that falls, a member of your family will die." And that very night there was a storm, a branch fell and a member of his family died. And he got the oak cut down and then chained it up in Alton Towers.
Right.
But the original oak tree, you can still go and see that. So I would love to go there just to feel the vibes. I think it's off limits now,
Right.
but I'd love to go then and feel the vibes off that.
Yeah, I do remember because you sit in you sit in rows, don't you, and you watch, and then obviously it feels like the room's going upside down, isn't it? I can't remember the story, but obviously it must be that story.
It's my favourite story, but again, it's very folklore. So it's like, it could be legend, could be myth, but you can still... it's highly debated, like whether the tree is still actually outside or inside, but wherever that is, because they did find something.
Yeah.
I think that is just such a fascinating story. So maybe not haunted as in such, but I thought, oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, I remember because obviously when you go to these places, the idea is to try and record it all, isn't it? To try and find somewhat evidence, although you're trying to feel it as well. And I remember last time you talked about like the Necrophonic app.
Yeah.
So obviously people probably didn't go into that enough. So what is the Necrophonic app? How does it work? And then how would you use it when you go into one of these places?
So the Necrophonic app is an app that hears white noise. So it hears things that the human ear can't hear. So if it would hear things that we can't hear right now as human beings. So it picks up on anything in the room that essentially that wouldn't go through our system. And basically what the Necrophonic app does is it picks up different like radio waves or whatever you call it. I don't even know what they're called, but the idea is that you can contact the other side with it.
The beyond.
Yeah. Did you ever hear of the horror film? What was it called? White Noise?
No.
It's a little bit like that film. So when you use it in graveyards and that, it's very busy. There's a lot of things coming through. But I've had it where it said my name. It said Welsh words. It's had, you know...
Like what?
It said my name, Iwan, on series 1 of the show that we did. And it's, you know, it's not always crystal clear, but it does say things. And even though the app is, I think it must be an American app, you'd think it would talk American, but it doesn't. But the app is well worth it. You pay for it once. I think it's £10, and then you've got it forever then. It's good. I use it for every kind of investigation.
What kind of things do you ask it?
Is there anyone here? And sometimes it'll, yeah. But it will answer, how old are you? And you know, you can hear it coming through, so it's really interesting.
Do you mind giving us a demonstration?
Are you ready? Yeah, I'll give you a demonstration.
So what is the clearest message you've had through it? What is the one where you said your name? Like where
Probably
you could
my
really
name.
tell it?
Probably my name. Like we were filming somewhere for the ghost show where we were filming something where it was supposed to be haunted by children, and we heard a child's voice. So that was a bit weird.
And is this like the gold standard thing to use to obviously record?
I mean, I was looking for apps that would work for things like this, and I think this is the one. I mean, it's the best you're going to get on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Are you ready to
Go on.
have a go? So let's see if we can contact it. Do you want to speak to it?
No, you speak to it. Fuck that. Do I fuck?
Hello, is anyone there? What's his name? What happened?
What's just happened then?
That light just gone out. Why is that?
No.
That light's just gone out.
The light has just gone out.
Ask if it's him.
Was that you? If that was you, can you say yes? Was that you that turned the light off? Hello? Isn't that cool?
It's weird, that.
Isn't it?
I thought I heard William. Do you know when you said, what's his name? I thought I heard like William.
I think
It's
I'm
not
going to make
William,
a believer out of you.
Oh, right.
That was really cool that the light went off.
That couldn't have happened at a waste time, that like going on.
Never turned off.
Why did that one not go off? Are they not linked?
I hope I haven't opened anything.
We live here, by the way. Let's not forget that. Jesus, right. Well, let's move on to top. So, a lot of people have been talking about, like, obviously you're into your mysterious crime, but then you're also into true crime as well. So, have you seen the latest documentary, the Ed Gein Monsters documentary?
Ed Gein, yeah, the Ryan Murphy one. Yeah. Do you know what was not for me really?
Yeah.
I love anything horror, but it's just so far from a documentary. I've looked into these cases since I was a kid, and it's a bit weird. But I've looked into these, and I get it. It's for TV, but it's so over dramatized, and a lot of things. I didn't even watch all of it. I watched 2 episodes of it, and I was like, it's too. I get it. It's a drama. That's the way it's got to be. It couldn't be done otherwise. But I think a factual 4-part documentary would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
It was a little bit too Hollywooded up for me.
What was not factual about it? Because I found myself like not enjoying it, but then like so I watched the first 2 episodes like you.
Yeah.
I'm not really enjoying it, like.
No.
And then 3 days later I was like, I want to go and watch it again to find out what happens. Do you know what I mean? Like a mysterious, curiosity.
To find out exactly what happens. Just things like, do you know, there's like, because I haven't watched all of it, so they might, I don't think they show this though. In the real one, he had like a box of clitorises and his bed. I don't believe that they show that.
On the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they do.
Do they show it?
Yeah, they do show it. It's the vulvas, isn't it? Yeah. It's really
it's just like the relationship side of things. He did have a strange relationship with his mum. Everybody knew that, but I just think that they focused a little bit too much on things like that. I would prefer to go into a real true crime documentary. I could tell you about one documentary that disturbed me to my core.
Go on.
And it's not horror. Well, it is.
Not to you.
It's not horror as in ghosts and murderers, but it's the worst documentary I've ever seen. It broke my heart. It's called Tell Me Who I Am.
Right.
And Tell Me Who I Am, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Is it on Netflix or?
Yeah, it's on. Tell Me Who I Am is on Netflix, and it's about two twin brothers, and one of them experiences a car crash and has total memory loss. He forgets everything, and he wakes up in a coma. And his other brother, it's his job to teach him about who he is and who his life is.
Right.
And he discovers that his childhood things happened, and that's all I'm going to say. But it's like the darkest, worst.
So does it turn out that it wasn't the car crash that made him lose his memory, sort of thing?
No.
Is it that dark? Oh, right.
The brother made out that he had a really nice upbringing as a child, but he finds out then there was extremely, extremely dark things going on. And it really upset me. It really did upset me, and it's repulsive. It really is, but it's a fantastic watch. And you know, nothing really gets me in the mood where I'm like, no, I can't watch that again. But that, I was like, that's horrific.
Why would you say like people are fascinated by like serial killer documentaries and documentaries like you just said, like the sort of vulgar, like really disturbing documentaries? Why are people so fascinated by that sort of stuff?
I think people are interested to see how far humanity can go with things. Like, I know this is completely different, but like I watch a lot of horror films where it's underground horror. Like, if you ever get the chance, have a look at the horror film Iceberg.
Right.
On the top, you have Saw, The Conjuring, all these Hollywood films.
I think I remember you saying this last time.
I go right down. Yeah. So to the really, like, what was it I watched the other day? The Vomit Gore trilogy. And it is what it says on the tin. And it's not like I enjoy it, because I don't, but I like to see how far people can go within their art making. And it is art, do you know what I mean? Even though it's not nice. So things like, so I will watch like the most banned, repulsive, awful films just to see how far they can go. And people go really far. It's really interesting. I think a lot of people say to me, oh, why would you watch this? Because it's sick. It's like, I'm not watching it because it's sick. I'm watching it because I'm seeing somebody's work. Do you know what I mean? It's just what I love, watching certain films like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember the last time you said about a Serbian film, and I know Reese always
watch it?
I've not watched it, but Reese has seen bits of it. I think. Have you seen the whole thing?
It's horrendous.
Yeah. And but what are some other films? Because obviously it's banned now, like you can't even watch it, can you? But
So a Serbian film. Do you know, a lot of people, what you're seeing on screen is disturbing. There's no doubt about that. However, it is a good film. It's got a high budget. It's well directed. It's got a good story. And even though the obvious what you're seeing on screen, the film's actually very political, and it's about how the people of Serbia were treated when you look into the deeper meaning of it. So even though what you're seeing on screen, yeah, it's horrendous, it's got a bigger message behind it. So it's actually very clever.
Yeah.
But if you want more films like that, you've got the Vomit Gore trilogy, which is it's real, and that is about
when you say real, based on true events, or
the director would get real bulimic prostitutes,
Right. Okay.
and like drug users, and just filmed them vomiting and things like that. So it's like, because I remember thinking, I don't really want to watch this, but I need to see it to see if it's actually real. And I watched it and I was like, oh my God. And they're not. Do you know what? I'm not even going to praise it. It's not even it's not even very well made. At least the Serbian film's got a decent story. This was like it was a bit boring. I didn't want to see part 2 or part 3, but I did watch them. There's another film. So this is actually from the 80s. And it's called Guinea Pig, Flower of Flesh and Blood. And this film was so realistic, Charlie Sheen actually phoned the police to say it was a real snuff film. So Guinea Pig, it's just about a woman getting... It's a Japanese gore film, and it's just a woman that gets kidnapped and tortured really slowly, and it's like... It's not real, but it's... ultra realistic. Really so I'd say that's pretty. It still holds up today. I watched it and I was like, yeah, that's pretty a thing. If you want a bit more of a modern film with a story, there's a horror film. I wouldn't even say it's a horror film, it's an exploitation film. It's called The Bunny Game. Have you heard of it?
No.
The Bunny Game is about a prostitute who gets a client and he kidnaps her and basically tortures her for like an hour and a half. The actress in the film actually got branded in real life. Actually got burnt like a cattle for the film. How is that proper dedication? And that was a very effective film. I don't know if it was a good film.
But it was extreme.
It was extreme, yeah. And I know a lot of people will say to me, why the hell would you watch something like that? And it's like, because I like... Do you know the way people watch these murder documentaries? I just like to see how far these actors can go, how far their art can go. So do you know when people say to me, oh yeah, I love really scary films, I've seen Saw. You think Saw's a horror film? Nah, I'll give you a list. if you wanted something that's not going to make you physically like really feel uncomfortable, there was one that was quite well known called Megan is Missing.
I think I have heard of this.
It went viral, and Megan is Missing. It's about a girl that gets speaking to some guy in a chat room, and it's just the consequences of meeting strangers online. And it's horrible. It really is horrible. But it's not as horrible as, like, say, Serbian film or anything like that. It's a lot more... It's light in comparison, but it's still really... It's good. It's a really good film. Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, Megan is Missing.
So you're not really impressed by, like, the whole serial killer documentaries and whatnot, but if we peel it back a layer, obviously things like the Ed Gein story did, like, you know, he did exist and he did do these things, like, obviously it was dramatized, etc. But what do you think creates a serial killer?
Oh, that's a good question. I think a lot of it is to do with your upbringing. I don't know anything about this, by the way, but I think a lot of it can be to do with your upbringing, your family life and relationships, the way that you were treated maybe as a kid. I think if things have been done to you, then sometimes things can repeat themselves. But I think a lot of it must come from trauma. A lot of it.
Like, I think that's one thing that the Ed Gein thing has done. It's like sparked a debate of like, oh no, this guy was born like this, and then other people are like, no, it was his like mother and whatnot. And I'm very much like kind of with you. I don't believe anyone's born a serial killer. I believe that it's pretty much, I mean, people might have learning disabilities or whatever, but I've met plenty of people with learning disabilities that never had, you know, the urge to go and kill someone or whatever. But I think it's mainly surely to God's nurture, like, you know, what they go through as a child. Like, even from watching the episodes, like, you know, you see how his mother is. No, I'm not saying that's exactly how she was, but even when mums don't back you and they just put you down, which a lot of mums do that, like, it just creates something in a child that... It's
just impossible for that to be a good influence, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just not...
That's exactly right. Like, it's never... Not. Like, if she's like that in any sort of capacity, even if she's not that brutal, but even if she's just negative, it's still not going to create anything positive at all.
But if you think about Ed Gein, he was the inspiration for The Silence of the Lambs, Psycho, and Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. He
was the inspiration for all them films. So... like, isn't that insane.
Yeah.
Without him, I'm not saying it was absolutely not. It's that it was like worth it or anything like that, because nobody should have to do anything awful. But if it wasn't for his horrific crimes, we wouldn't have all these horror people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, 100%. Have you ever been like actually impressed by some serial killer documentaries? Have there ever been ones where you thought, oh no, that was a really good one?
Yes.
Go on, give me some
So
recommendations.
everyone's seen it. Don't fuck with cats.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with cats is so exciting. It's, do you know what? It's the whole hunt for Luca Magnotta. I thought that was good. And do you know what? When I thought it was actually scary, The Night Stalker.
Yeah. See, that's my favourite one.
The Night Stalker, I think, because his crimes, they really, really was awful. What he did. And that I kind of, it made me feel something.
Yeah.
That's what I look for. I look for something to make me feel it. I thought The Night Stalker was very, very good. There's another.
So you're very much like a fan of the factual ones rather than the dramatized ones. Yeah, I think I follow with that as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
the Don't Fuck with Cats one was really good. The Night Stalker.
It's almost like watching a biopic, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's. I would rather see a 4-part series with all the details in and real witnesses. Do you know what? I watched one. Oh my God, what was it called? The girl that went missing on the boat.
Oh, Amy.
Yeah. What was it? Can you forget the name of it? Amy Bradley.
No, I've not heard this one.
Oh my God, this is so good. So it came out about a month ago. I think it's called The Disappearance of Amy Bradley. A girl went on a cruise.
Yeah, Disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley. It's called.
Disappearance of Amy Lynn Bradley. Go watch it. It's on Netflix. A woman went on a cruise with her brother, her mum and her dad, and she just completely vanishes off the cruise. They searched like all the water, and she was never ever found again. So there was like conspiracies that she had been carried off the boat to be trafficked, and in the years since, she's been spotted on an escorting website. But they obviously can't tell 100% if that is her, but it does look like it because they go into all this, and she's been spotted in like a toilet, in a toilet in a bathroom in a shop somewhere crying, and it was just such an interesting documentary. AmyBradleyIsMissing.com is the official website, and every birthday and every Christmas it gets checked by someone in the area that she went missing in. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. It's not scary, but it's very
just eerie. Like,
do you know when you're like, I want to know what has happened?
Yeah,
it's one of them.
Yeah.
And please watch it. I think you'll really enjoy it.
If you were to like direct your own like documentary, is there a story that you would particularly like to cover, and how would you do it?
I would love to do. Have you heard about the murder of Julia Wallace in Liverpool?
No.
So this is infamous. It's called, in other words, the locked room murder. So there's a road in Anfield. Can't remember the name of the road, but it's online. And a woman was living with her husband, and her husband went out to the bar. He went out drinking, and a woman was bludgeoned to death called Julia Wallace. And there's all kinds of books and that about it, and she was found bludgeoned to death on the floor with everything locked in the house and nothing stolen by someone. Now, her husband was out at the time, so he couldn't have done it.
So it was 100% confirmed that he had an alibi.
There was, do you know what? It was never 100%, but they call it the locked room murder because it was just. I think it was impossible because the pub where he was, it was like the other side of Liverpool. I think it was in the early 1900s, if I remember correctly. I'd love to do a documentary about that. I would love to go and really dive into it and be like, why didn't they steal anything? What would they get from killing her? What was going on? Is there something deeper? Was there any kind of affairs, or I don't know, was something going on? Do you know what I mean?
And there was nothing found at all.
No.
Like, no clues, no footprints, no.
Nope.
That's so strange.
So wouldn't that be a good documentary?
That would be a good one.
That would be really good, wouldn't it?
So obviously we're coming up to Halloween season. So where should people go for Halloween season?
Halloween is like my busiest time of year. I consider myself a little bit of an expert at these things. Halloween, Liverpool is a great place for scare attractions and the surrounding areas as well. And I've been to review all of them. I have done all of them. And the places I'd recommend, I'm going to start off with a boring one, not a boring recommendation because it's the best one in my opinion. The godfather of scare attractions is Farmageddon. Farmageddon is in the middle of nowhere. It's got 4 scare houses that last like 10-15 minutes each, and there's actors everywhere, and the special effects are amazing. The special effects are that good. When I've put videos of them on TikTok, the videos have been banned because they think it's real. Right. Farmageddon, it gets bigger and badder every year. It's so much more than a scare attraction. It's a show. There's DJs, there's dancers, they've got everything. So Farmageddon is always, it's a safe bet one. The next place I'm going to recommend for you to go is Scare City. So Scare City, it's in the abandoned Camelot theme park.
Oh, fuck that.
Right? And what makes this one so special is, do you know the way when you go to Farmageddon you have 4 scare houses?
Yeah.
10.
Right.
We have 10 in Scare City. And in Farmageddon, have you been?
I've been to Farmageddon. I've not been to Scare City.
In normal scare attractions, you go in the house, you come out, you go into another one, you come out, don't you? In this abandoned Camelot theme park, you're walking through the whole 10. In
like one after the
it's
other.
A trail. It's a trail of scare houses. And it's so special because you're doing a scare attraction in an abandoned theme park, so it's eerie anyway. And it's long. It's a 2-mile walk, the whole thing. And it's just the biggest. It's the biggest one, and I'd highly recommend going to that because it's and because there's 10 different scare houses. There's so much themes going on. They've got like fun house. They've got a meat house. They have just got any theme that you could think. Circus. They've got like all kinds. So I would really, really recommend that one because some of it is quite scary. What
are some of the experiences that you have going through there? Like, what do they actually do? Do they just interact with you? Because I know some places you can go and you have to sign waivers and stuff like that. It's my
happiest place. Because when I go to these scare attractions, I don't see the fear. I see the art. I'm very like art person, and I'm like, you look incredible. That must have took you hours to look like that. Like, amazing. So certain ones. So I did one on Saturday, Spooky World in Warrington. So we did that, and they were allowed to touch you there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, it was very it was a long time ago, over 10 years ago now.
It was good. Not in my top 3, but it was still very good. And they were allowed to touch us, but it was fun. It was good. But we are doing one next week where you've got to be over 18 to go. Now, Farmageddon, all of these ones are on Liverpool. It's 16, so this is an over 18s one. So this has got to be good. This one. So it's in Chester. This one, and it's called Goose Tree Graveyards. So I'm really excited to do this one.
And why do you have to be 18? Like, is there some sort of...
I think they can touch you and they like run after you with like chainsaws.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love it so much. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that. Have you heard... did I speak about this last time I was here? The one in America?
I'm not sure.
Can I show you?
Yeah, go for it.
So there's a place in America. There's a haunted house attraction in America, and it's called McCamey Manor.
No, you didn't.
So it is. There's a 2-year waiting list to go in. No one's ever completed it, and it's 2 years waiting list to get in. If you finish it, you get 20 grand.
And it's a fun attraction. Like, what is it?
Well, it's torture. So it's like you get waterboarded. Is it waterboarded? Yeah, you get waterboarded. You get like real tarantulas put in your mouth. You get your hair shaved. You get your nails pulled out. You get put in a coffin with snakes, all real snakes all over you. drowned, vomiting, all that. So that one is in America. I don't think I would do that one.
It's legal, like
yeah, it's legal, but there's a documentary about it that's come out about how sadistic it is. I just think that's a step above what I would. It's just not for me. I don't really want to hurt myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that looks like quite an interesting one to go to. But you can see there's videos of it on YouTube and stuff like that, and it looks horrible.
Have you ever been to one where you have to sign the waiver? Because my sister was telling me that she had to sign a waiver one time, and then she got trapped in a room, and then this guy was walking around like almost semi-nude and stuff. And
did you know that there used to be an all-year-round haunted house on Dale Street?
No.
It was called Ghoulies, and it was there till about 4 years ago, and it closed down. And it was on the corner of Stanley Street, facing Moorfields train station. And I did it over 21s one, obviously, because they didn't. They did like a normal one where it was like 18 or 16 or whatever. But I did the over 21 one where I had to sign a waiver. It was horrible. So they put me in a dentist chair. They like locked me in a dentist's chair with like a belt, like a leather belt, so I couldn't move my arms and my legs. And they took the shoes off and then put the shoes in my nose, so I had to like smell like the feet. That was really weird. And then, do you know Newsham Park Hospital?
Oh yeah.
They did an over 21s. One of the mazes was over 21. This was about 3 years ago, but they had to close it down due to so many complaints. I did it 3 times, but you had to be over 21 to do it, and there was like naked actors pretending to ejaculate on your back.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you though.
And you were getting tied into a wheelchair and blindfolded and that. It was very effective. It was very effective. But I don't think they're going to, because I said to them this year, oh, please do it, but I don't think they're going to do it just because it was so extreme.
Yeah, that's great.
But it was fun.
So a big thing I've been seeing, obviously, as Halloween's coming up, a lot of papers have been writing about it, especially living in the city, saying that trick-or-treating's dying out. Is that something that you...
I haven't heard that at all.
Really?
I mean, why?
Just because, like, people aren't, especially in cities, like, people aren't safe to walk around anymore. Like, for example, I've lived here for 9-10 years now, and I've never really seen kids walking. Obviously, it's a city, but even on the outskirts, you never really see kids walking around anymore.
I've never seen it, to be honest. Since living here, I don't really, I don't really see it. In terms of trick-or-treat dying out, I mean, I get why people would want to be a bit more careful in this day and age, because you can really put anything in the bag, can't you? You could be putting anything poisonous or whatever. But yeah, about it dying out, I mean, it's a shame because the whole I think that everything's changing. Do you know, with social media, like now it's all about how everything looks for Instagram. So I think people have swapped going trick-or-treating for things like pumpkin picking and all that.
Yeah. Because it is a shame. Like I've definitely seen it dying out a lot more.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing like a thing the other day and saying like, how would you get it back? How would you say get trick-or-treating back?
I don't know, to bring it back. I think, I don't know, could you imagine if there was a trend going round, right, where people would get, it would be, the goal would be for everyone to show off the best sweets.
Yeah.
And then everyone would go to the house, but then they'd know where you live. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if they'll ever get it back. I mean, we've all heard the urban legends of people putting razor blades inside sweets and things like that. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever come back, because everything in this day and age, it's so for ego. It's for social media. It's the way everything looks. So it's a tough question. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's a shame because, like, obviously, I work in education, so sometimes I've asked some people, like, it's like, oh, you're going out trick or treating to little cousins and whatnot. It's like, oh no, like we don't do that anymore. Like we're too old for that. It's like they're like 12. Like, and I just think like I was doing that until I was like 13, 14 easily.
Nothing made me happier than going trick or treating and having the sweets, lasting you for days.
Yeah, exactly.
And having who can get the most. Yeah. That kind of thing. And of course, dressing up. Dressing up's so fun, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, in your line of work, you seem to have like this sort of mentality of you view things very like passively almost. You kind of like sit back and you observe. You're an observer as well as a storyteller. So would you say like doing this sort of as a career has changed the way you see life and death?
Well, because I consider myself to be like really spiritual, I'm not scared about the next part. I don't feel I'm not going to say that any of this has reassured me in any way that there is anything after, because it hasn't. Do you know what I mean? Mm. But I think you've got to be pretty naive to think that this is it. What we see with our eyes in front of us, to think that is it. I think got to be quite naive. But I think that I do feel that where everything happens for a reason. I know it sounds so cliche, but everything that has happened to me in my whole life has been a lesson and a gift. Like I was sexually assaulted when I was young, and my mother passed away when I was young. And even though it was horrific to go through, it gave me so much. It gave me lessons, and it gave me wisdom that you could never ever read it from a book. So all these things, when you stop saying why have all these things happened to me, and start saying, okay, what can I learn from here? There's always something that you can learn from things. So for me, it's whatever happens is a lesson.
Yeah. So obviously you're saying you've observed things and nothing's quite changed your mind. But what do you think happens when you die?
I think energetically, I think our bodies, so say now that you live here for 50 years and you get up at 7 a.m. and you go to work every morning, your energetic body gets into that shift where you're so used to doing it every single day. And I think that can carry on in the afterlife. I don't necessarily think that things are ghosts and that come back to haunt us, or, things like that. I don't think, do you know, videos of people getting thrown downstairs? I don't believe any of that. But I do think that sometimes your energy field can get stuck into a pattern where sometimes it carries on when the physical isn't here.
So to round off the show, is there any stories that have really stuck out to you in the last few months, let's say? What have been some of your favourites over the last 6 months or so?
So there was a story, I'm going to give you a Christmas one.
Oh, nice.
So there was a house on Lawrence Road in Wavertree, here in Liverpool, where there was a Christmas family party, and there was someone that turned up dressed as Santa, and the family initially thought that it was like the uncle in the family or something, and because this uncle was really like over the top and all that. And,
I can see where this is going.
And they got a picture with the uncle.
So that's just, and they think that that's the uncle, but it's not the uncle.
Yeah, because he was extravagant and all that. And then 10 minutes into this party, first like the animals went missing, like that, because a dog that was being kept in the back room because they didn't want it out in the party, and then different animals went missing from houses that night, with a trail of blood. So they believe that person that was in that costume was responsible for. That person in the costume was responsible. That it turned up to several parties on that same night. They believe that person was responsible for many animals.
So only animals know.
Only animals, yeah, only animals. But isn't that scary? Yeah.
You can see how easily done it would be. Like, I think that this one of the dickhead siblings or uncles or whatever.
But apparently before he went into the house, this is just second information, he was watching the guests through the window going in.
So they all thought it was part of the skit sort of thing.
So when I look at that picture, I always go, oh, Like, that is really creepy. So I think that particularly stands out, but I have posted it many times.
Yeah, and it's always done well.
Yeah, always done well.
Brilliant. So what's next for you then in the next coming months? I know you're still filming the season 2 of the documentary.
I've got 2 episodes left of my show, my paranormal TV show, and then that's going to be out in February.
Can you say when the last episode will be? Because obviously you said it off camera. Can you say?
Where it will be?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you exactly where the last episode is. However, we're coming to Liverpool to do it.
Brilliant.
I think it's like 99% secured.
And you know exactly where you're going?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I do, yeah. I did give a list, but I kind of think...
Narrowed it down.
It's somewhere I've never been before.
Nice.
But it's going to be really nice to end the season in my home.
Yeah.
My today home. So it feels like kind of... it's bittersweet because it's the end of the series, but I'm ending it in my favourite place in the world, which is Liverpool.
Yeah. And do you think season 3 will come eventually?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing for season 3? Do you know what? I always said this after season 1. I said I would love a season 2, but I was happy with season 1. I was so grateful for that. So it'd be great if we got season 3. But if we don't, it's still a massive thing that we got 2. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just so grateful to be able to do exactly what I love. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I've also got what else have I got? I've got a potential project coming up, which it would involve a video podcast.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know enough details about it. That's the truth. I haven't been told what it's about or anything like that. So potentially something like that coming up. And then apart from that, do you know what? I'm just focusing on my social media. Obviously, out of the TikTok world, I'm a social media manager for different businesses, so I'm very busy with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do ask me as well, because obviously, you know, I get paid from TikTok, and I do make money from it, which could be sometimes considered enough money for a full-time job. And a lot of people say, oh, why would you not just do it, not just go and do it full-time? And the answer is no, because I've seen people who have been banned like that, and I wouldn't want to put all my eggs into one basket and put all my dependency into TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting shadow banned, so I would rather have multiple streams of income. So I do not want to be a full-time content creator for myself.
Yeah, it's a smart way to go about it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing your own TV documentary or TV series in Liverpool?
I would love it. I would love to do it. I would absolutely love to do it. There's so much to do here in a city that has so much history. A lot of people seem to be getting annoyed that I'm only doing Liverpool. That's what I get most of the time. It's always Liverpool. Mate, why are you always doing Liverpool? And it's like, there is only one person that is behind my account.
Yeah.
So if I could, I would go and do it in London, Glasgow, Scotland, Wales, everything. But like, I am a one-man brand. And, you know, if you think about it realistically, if I go down to London, that's £100 on the train. Then I have to pay for accommodation. So it's a massive job. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure if I went to do it, I'm sure it would probably work. But for now, like, I'm just really enjoying doing it where I live, because the city raised me and it made me. So I like to give my bit back by showing it some love and exploring its history.
Yeah, you're doing a good job of it as
you.
well. Where can people? Obviously, most people will know you around here, but where can people find you for those that haven't seen your content?
So across all platforms, it's Iwan Stefan, IWANSTEFFAN. That's on TikTok, Instagram. Don't add me on Facebook because that's personal. But yeah, TikTok is my biggest platform, and that's where it's at.
Perfect. Can't thank you enough for coming on. Obviously, we've had you on in the past, and
it's been so good to come back.
Yeah,
can we do it next Halloween?
Of course, mate. Definitely the eeriest episodes we've done so far. But yeah, thank you very much.